Hey everyone. So, you're wondering what's next. This is Aloysia Woods, author, motivational speaker, breakthrough coach, entrepreneur. So, this video is really about what next, moving forward. How do we move forward in the present climate that we're in? We have to start really self reflecting on what that looks like. So, whether they open up the economy piece by piece, whatever process they take to ensure that we reopen the economy safely, it's still going to be layers unfolding step by step. But whatever direction is decided upon, we still have to do our parts to take care of ourselves and each other. While it may be difficult for many, because you have those who are protesting because people are having to make decisions between being broke or risking their lives. And that's a tough space to be in. Many of us are experiencing the same thought process and having to make that decision because so many have lost their jobs. But what's most important is really identifying within ourselves what is most important to us. Meaning, we have to live, we have to eat, we have to take care of our bills, we have to take care of our families. Those things aren't disappearing because we're in the midst of a pandemic. Unfortunately, those things are still on the table. The car note, the mortgage, the rent, food, cell phone, all of the above. And some of us have a higher output than we do input financially, which is why it's so important for us to really sit down and probably take pen to paper and start identifying where do we go next. See, while this is happening, we're really at a plateau in our lives. We're at a crossroads, if you will, that enables us to probably launch things that we've only thought about. Launch that business, that home-based business, that, we're now in a space where so much is happening virtually. We literally having an open window to dive in and begin to make an impact. And in doing so, we will begin to contribute to humanity. The economy in which we live is not an easy space for people that aren't in a six-figure and higher bracket. But even if we're not making that level of income, whatever we are making, if we really use some ingenuity and creativity, we can really begin to do things that we've never done, so that we're never placed in this situation again. If you feel where I'm heading with this, most people live paycheck to paycheck. It's only 1% of our economy in our world of people that are wealthy. And primarily for those that are middle class, that's going to be removed. There will be no middle class. There'll either be the haves and the have-nots. That's really where this world is going. That's the path that they're taking us on. We now have to make tough decisions for our lives and our future, but we have to look at where we are, because we're not going to go back to where we've been. That is for certain. So we have to really reflect upon where we are and where we desire to be. We all have a purpose to serve. And there are things we're passionate about that we're not identifying because we've been so caught up in surviving, living day by day, just going, and never taking time to self-reflect and really look at the things we're passionate about, the things we love. Because when all is said and done, life is for living. It's not just to work, come home, and start all over again. We have to give attention to our families. We have to give attention to our health, our bodies, our temples. We have to give attention to our spiritual inner worlds. There are things we have to do on a daily basis. And while it takes work, that work will lead us into a space in which we live a healthier, vibrant, more balanced life. So instead of spending our lives living paycheck to paycheck, having someone else determine our worth, determine, what we make, when we take vacations, basically sort of decide the path for our lives. We should be owning and controlling our own destinies. We have that ability. So we are in a prime situation, as tragic as it's been, to really start all over, to plant new seeds, rebuild, redirect, reconstruct our lives. This is our opportunity to get it right. We only have one opportunity this life to get it right. And I am impressing upon all of you to begin now. No delay, no procrastinating, no wondering, no fear. You got to annihilate the fear and not let the fear paralyze you. I know, because I've had to learn in my life how to break through the obstacles of those inner fearful thoughts that paralyze so many from living their dreams, living a purpose, passion-filled life. We all have the same opportunity. We have the same time in every day, the same minutes, seconds, hours. What we do with it is dependent upon us. We can't control the final piece of life, but we can control how we live our lives. So please, as we go through this pandemic and with the social distancing, let it not be social. We still need to socialize virtually. We're just physically distancing ourselves so that we can protect ourselves and our loved ones. And that's difficult for many. It feels isolating. But there's so much we can do with the time in which we've been given, and continue to pray for each other. Pray for those who've been affected. Thank God for those who've recovered. Pray for those who've lost loved ones. And now we get to be a part of history in making an impact in humanity. This is a serious, serious space in our universe. And we gotta look in the mirror, look at ourselves, and really begin to identify what's important to us. And our relationships. How are we really connecting with those we love, with our spouses and our friends and our families? We got to be led by love. You always, if you listen to anything I've discussed, love is the missing ingredient that's leading us to live in a space of darkness. And understand that darkness and light cannot exist at the same time. So we all get to make a choice. We were given free will upon our entry into this existence. as spiritual beings on this human journey. Now we have to seek to find and discover and remember our truth. That truth which is love. When all is said and done, that must be what leads everything that we do. Everything that we say must be led by love. And love is God. God is love. Faith, living faithfully. Believing in that which we cannot see with our human eyes. So we have a responsibility in this time, in this era in which we live, to change humanity. Because humanity is changing, whether we choose to be a part of that change or not. We have a choice to make before we can move forward. It's time to move forward. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now or not. You decide. Until we connect again, stay safe, stay healthy, and love one another in every moment, and stay connected. Peace and blessings, love and light.